Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Good morning, Muscatine. This is the Hy-Vee Today show with Tony Tone, but this is Kim Beckman filling in for him for a few minutes with a flash news break. We are having our Tenderloin event for October. It is going to be next Friday, so make sure you save the date. See that big tenderloin there? It's going to be $1.99 for a sandwich. We're going to have $3.99 meals on that. It's going to be next Friday, October 18th. From 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to make 2,000 of these, so don't miss out on the great buy. Your tenderloins are going to be $1.99. Your meals are going to be $3.99. Your side dishes, if you just want to add one side dish, is going to be $1. We've got our Muscatine macaroni and cheese. We've got our homemade au gratin potatoes and 30-plus other side dishes that you can come in and get for just $1 a piece. So make sure you put that on your calendar. That's going to be your lunch or supper for the evening for you and the entire family, or gather up the staff at work and come on out and see us. We'll also have, if you're dining with us, it is a Friday, so we got those dollar drafts that you can get from us. Take advantage of our bar situation and kick your weekend off with a great day. That was Kim Beckman from the Hy-Vee Kitchen. Make sure you're marking your calendars, and we're going to go back to Tony Tone with the Hy-Vee Today show. There we go. Did that work? Did you like that?
I love it.
Okay.
It's a good breakfast. No, you're taking the sandwich?
Well, you can eat it.
She took the sandwich, everybody.
We can talk about it.
Oh, I thought I was going to get the day off. Gosh, I was so excited. I was just going to hang out, watch my show. It's kind of like a weird, out-of-body experience. Let me awkwardly put myself in the chair here. I'll slide this over. That looks really good, though. So next Friday, $1.99 tenderloins are back. We've done this. This will be the third time. The first time that we did it, it was like the equivalent of like a rock and roll concert. There were people in line. Everybody was in a good mood. It smelled good, tenderloins. So we're excited for that. Can't wait. So, hey, that's the first time that's happened where I didn't start the show in my normal seat. I don't know what those are. Are those headphones? Put those over there as well. I'm glad that we have all these tables that I can set stuff on. Happy Friday, y'all. We made it, right? A little brisk out there. Maybe a little frost on the pumpkin if you didn't bring it inside. If you got a mum on your front porch, it got knocked over. That's what it was at my house, tipped over mum. So I had to pick that up as I was trying to get a 4-year-old to understand why he needed to have pants on. He had pulled his pant legs up to make shorts. He got outside and then told me, "It's cold. Why would you let me pull my pants up?" And I just did this. I'm like, "Get in the car. Get in the car. The neighbors already have a lot of questions. Our grass isn't cut. You're yelling at me. You're 4. You have bedhead." It's a whole thing. A couple things before we get to our guest who's patiently waiting. We've got a 48-hour sale that's going on right now as we sit here today and tomorrow. Great opportunity for you to save. Check out these deals. How about bananas for 29 cents a pound? That's an awesome deal. Hy-Vee cottage cheese, one of my favorite things ever. I put a little pepper on the cottage cheese. Some people would say they put pineapple. I put a little pepper on the cottage cheese. It's great. Whole boneless pork loins in there. Frito-Lay family-size Lay chips. That's a Frito-Lay family-size Lays or Lay's kettle-cooked chips. Say that 3 times fast. How about a dozen glazed donuts, $4.99. Chinese one entree meal, $3.99 today and tomorrow. And then, of course, the fuel saver, in addition to those deals, you spend $50, Steve, you get 25 cents off per gallon. The more you spend, the more you save. Don't pay full price at the pump. It's absolutely fantastic. Hello to Melody and Colleen that are with us on Facebook. Thank you. If you're watching online, hello. If you're watching on cable, what are you having for breakfast or dinner, depending on what time you're seeing this? You have got today until 5 p.m., Friday the 11th, to vote for Muscatine, a chance to have our water tower re-wrapped for free. And as you can see right here, Muscatine currently in first place, but nothing is guaranteed. We've got over 8,300 votes. Keep in mind, we sat here yesterday, and Muscatine had around, 6,000, 6,300 votes. Our next, the town closest to us would be that Arnold. There you go, 8,297 votes. Call it 8,300 votes. Get online, vote for Muscatine Power and Water. My kids were really confused when I showed them the Photoshop water tower with my face on it. They thought that was really going to happen, and then they were mad when I told them it was a joke. And then one of them started crying, so that was awkward. It's not going to happen. It was just a joke. And the last thing I'll tell you is it's going to be cold tomorrow in Iowa City. if you're going to the game and you need things like a winter hat, I thought these were hand warmers. They're toe warmers. I'm sure that if you put them on your hands, they'd keep your hands warm. And how about even some Iowa gloves? The real test is I have big hands. I don't want to buy these gloves. I can't even try them on without, let's see. It's always a struggle for me to find gloves that fit. Oh my, if the glove fits, I should have quit. Look at that. That's only marvelous. How much are these? Does it have a price? It doesn't say. Maybe they're going to be free Hawkeye gloves. So it's going to be a little cold if you're tailgating. I know the game isn't until 6:30 tomorrow night, which for Iowa fans means they'll start tailgating at 6:30 in the morning. So just be prepared. And if you want to watch the game here inside the Market Grill Express, you could bring $2 and have several brewskis because they're only 25 cents, all draft beer. All you can eat appetizer bar, $10, and then well-mixed drinks, $2. That's an awesome deal. All right, he's probably wondering what he signed himself up for, but I promise we're going to get down to business with my first guest who's making his debut appearance on this show, which is disappointing because I feel like I should have had John DeBeat on several times because I like this guy a lot and I respect him, and he's finally here.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to be on your show and also to have a nice chat with you and your viewers too.
I tell you what, John DeBeat, I've known you for a couple of years. I feel like everybody likes John DeBeat. You do so much, and my goal is to have all of the school board candidates on this show because I have two kids, just like I know you've got the twin boys that are in school. My oldest is in second grade at McKinley, and then I've got the 4-year-old that didn't want to wear pants over at the Early Learning Center, and I have a 1-year-old daughter. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to be in Muscatine for a while, so I care about the future of our school district. Before we kind of dive into why you're seeking re-election, for the folks that are watching, and I don't assume that you know a lot of people, but for the folks that are watching that might not know you or your story, can you share some of that with them, John?
Yes, for sure. Well, good morning, everybody, and thanks a lot for hosting me on your show. My name is John DeBeat. I'm the coordinator for the business department at Muscatine Community College, and also I teach economics and statistics. Well involved in the community. I'm the president of Muscatine Sister City here in town, and also I was the first elected officials from the state of Iowa to serve on Sister City International in Washington, D.C.
Sure. That's a big deal.
I'm humbled to say that.
I was going to say, and somehow, great picture of the family right there. Somehow, like everybody, you're very busy, but it would be one thing to just teach and educate the youth, but you feel like it's, I don't know, what has compelled you, John, to be so involved? Because everybody, I feel like a lot of people are involved in different ways, but you've got an awful lot on your plate, so to speak.
Well, I think part of it is I was raised in a family that valued education.
Sure.
I remember my dad used to tell us that you can do whatever you want to do in your life as far as you finish your education and get your degree. My mom and my dad raised us in a way that becoming very active in your community is a must. It's not even a choice. Helping others also is important too. So we were raised learning those kind of ideas, and I'm trying also to install the same values in our kids right now too.
I was going to say that's the ultimate, coming full circle is continuing that part of your family, which is, like you said, instilling that importance of, listen, you got to go to school, you have to be a good person, but then you have to look for ways. And I think, again, our kids aren't the same age, but I get that. And sometimes it can be just as easy, John, as teaching them, like, hold the door open for a stranger.
Exactly.
Be polite when you're out in public. I mean, there's little things that we can do to set them up for success.
Say
right?
thank you when somebody does something.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost money,
No.
and it's very simple.
Right,
It's
absolutely.
very simple.
It couldn't be easier to just be a decent person, it turns out,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
You do have a unique perspective when we talk about this re-election campaign that you're seeking for the Muscatine School Board. Because of your job at Muscatine Community College, John, you're able to, you're on the school board seeking re-election, and then at the same time, you're educating kids that are coming through, a lot of them. I mean, I know that there's students that come from outside of Muscatine School District to go to MCC, but you have that unique perspective of teaching kids that are products of our school system, and that has to make you feel really proud of your job and what you've been able to do on the school board, right? Because you can kind of see the work paying off.
Indeed, Tony. I mean, one of my ultimate favorite moments during the year is number one, when I participate in the graduation as a school board member and hand some of those certificates for our students. And the good thing about it is that some of them, when they come to MCC and take my class, they say, hey, we remember you. You handed us our diploma. So that's, for me, that's what a success means. The same thing at MCC, when we go every year at graduation and see really the success of our students, that they are going through a lot to earn that diploma and then continuing their journey. I'm a firm believer in education. Hence, I always say education is key. Education is key to improve ourselves, to improve our community, to help others also achieve and attain what we are achieving too.
Absolutely. I find it so fascinating, though, that you again get to do that and have had good experiences on the school board, enough to make you want to seek re-election. And that's what's going on now. Certainly the League of Women Voters had their forum. Everybody got together. There's a lot of folks that are running. And again, the plan is to have everybody here on the show to talk about why they're seeking getting on the school board. So I wonder, John, if you're able to, have you identified any challenges that maybe we need to address with respects to things that are happening in the Muscatine Community School District? Again, you're a current school board member seeking re-election, but have you identified areas that we need to improve?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, first of all, why I'm seeking re-election, number one is our district is moving forward. We're going to have a new superintendent within a year. So the direction of our district becomes very important for me as an educator before even being a school board member. So I would like to be part of that process as we are moving and switching gears towards a new superintendent. I never heard of a school district of our size that spent around $35 million for improvement and expansions in the past 4 years.
Unbelievable.
A lot of expansions from McKinley to the high school, to the band, the new instrument, to all this that we are trying to add, as a matter of fact, to improve the whole educational experience for each one of our students. So I would like to continue that process and see really the end results at some point in time, as I started to work on this in my first 4 years.
Well, and that's what can be so tough when you look at the last 4 years and you see things like a Washington school closing. But what people maybe, and what can get lost is in the messaging, right?
Yes.
So when you see a Washington school closing, what you don't know is, what I was told is that it costs more to operate and upkeep Washington school, almost cost the same, if not more, than the high school. So you can understand, yes, was it a tough thing? Was it a tough decision to make? Certainly. Do tough decisions get made in school board offices with superintendents, with a lot of people that are informed and a lot of debate? It's not just a knee-jerk reaction, but sometimes we can't control how people perceive things. But I was shocked when I learned that, because, again, I've only been in town for 7 years, and then I spent some time at Washington School, and, it would have needed several millions of dollars just to be able to keep in operation as a school.
Exactly, you are totally right. Sometimes we have a lot of discussions, what I call behind doors. Like we don't come up with a decision or make any kind of decisions without having a very lengthy discussion among ourselves as 7 board members.
Sure.
And this is something that I want to assure the citizens of Muscatine, that I think each one of us on the board always have the kids' education in our heart. I mean, that is very important. This is the first thing. One of the things that I would like to try to do when re-elected again for the school board is, I would like to see us giving our students around 20 minutes a day, and for me, it doesn't matter what we call that, creative time, free time, or whatever, is to get our students to do what they really like to do, and they choose to do that. And it's a busy schedule every day for kids from kindergarten all the way to high school. I would like to see that, as I look at research and I read more and more about it, they're saying, according to studies, that when students get that creative time during the day, it does affect their whole educational process and comprehension and so on.
I could see that. Yeah, I mean, with the curriculum and how strict things can be, when we talk about getting, the kids an opportunity to just take a break, right? Because they're constantly going and thinking, and by the way, they really can be distracted more so than you and I were in school with these devices. So, yeah, maybe that is something that would benefit our students. And again, the end game, like you said, you're a parent just like I am, and you just want what's best for all students throughout Muscatine. Dr. DeWinter was here last week or the week before with Kim Warren, and 7 in 10 jobs in Iowa by the year 2025 are going to require some type of secondary college education. So that's a reality, John. I mean, these aren't made-up stats. We're not pushing college as an agenda. I mean, we want our kids to be prepared, right? I was telling my boys, my second grader, he's doing good, but was like, he has a job at school. He's helping be a greeter, right? It's like, I don't want to do it today. And I said, I don't really want to go to work today, but I like what I do, and I have to. Just like, I know you like what you do, and sometimes you just got to get moving. So I think it also, a lot of this is on the parents to be a good support system. But the reality is, John, that a lot of our students maybe don't have that support system at home. So that's where, like you said, a break in the day could really be beneficial to them.
And that's a great point, Tony. And I'm glad that you are bringing up this. This is something that I'm saying here on your show as an educator. Yes, schools have responsibilities, teachers have responsibilities, but we as parents, we as the community have also responsibility. I ask each one of us to perhaps spare an hour or maybe 2 hours a month and go to the school, help students reading, help them with, just to be a mentor for a young student or something like that, makes a huge effect and effort on those students.
Well, and we know that because there's studies and great, I benefited from great mentors in the classroom and out of the classroom. Helped me a lot. A lot of it can be attitude and seeing positive role models. It makes total sense. I want to come back to setting the table for the next superintendent. So Dr. Jerry Hy-Vee, retiring. Appreciate his efforts. He and his wife, Jody, have been good for Muscatine. They hit the ground running. They jumped in with both feet, which I know is important. What do you think the next superintendent, John, needs to have, he or she? It seems like, again, education continues to evolve, as you know, more than anyone else, because that's what you do for a living. But what do you think the board is going to be looking for in that next superintendent once they start that search?
And that's an excellent question. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Dr. Jerry Hy-Vee and Jody. I mean, they were amazingly special people to our community, to Muscatine. As you said, they got well involved in many organizations and so on. Well, as a school board member, I look for someone who will put students first.
Sure.
I want the next or the new superintendent to put students first, to work very hard to bring us to next level, to work very hard to improve the quality of education of our students. I look also for the good communication with, not just internally with the board, with the teachers, with the staff, but I want also someone who will be a good communicator with the community.
Sure.
Let's face it, we are part of the community. Hence our name is Muscatine, Community School District.
Sure.
So the community is in us. So we want that also to be part of this. Obviously, we want someone who will be fiscally responsible also, because you are running also a district that has a big budget also. So we want someone to also have a great knowledge of the fiscal side of our district. I want that person and the family of that person to be part of the community,
Absolutely.
to be involved, to live in Muscatine, and to be the voice of Muscatine School District.
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it? And I guess for me personally, with the second grader and the PK4 and another child that will be entering, I want someone that doesn't look at Muscatine as a stepping stone. Do you know what I mean?
I
feel
I
like
agree 100%.
we were fortunate with respects to Dr. Reby and the work that he did. I mean, him retiring doesn't come as a surprise. It's his choice. He's earned it. He's worked a lifetime in education. Great guy. I would like the next superintendent, John, to look at Muscatine as a place that they can really put down some roots and do a lot of good work. And yeah, you're right, that communication is a big deal. And we've had some recent examples of how are we communicating as a whole. There was just an event at the high school this week that the police department put on with respects to when things, when emergencies or events like that take place, how are we disseminating that information? Again, things can get muddied on social media, right? But I think it's important to know that everybody, at the end of the day, cares about the students and their safety and their education. And that's where that superintendent, I think, Muscatine Community School District, being the superintendent here, I think it's a great job. It's a great opportunity for someone. I do think there's work that needs to be done, but I feel like we have so much good push in this community, right? It'd be different if we didn't have as many people actively working to make it a better place to be every day. And that's what I hope that superintendent identifies, because it's going to be a big move for he or she, whether they're from somewhere in Iowa or Illinois or outside the area, right? It's a big choice.
Exactly, definitely. And we started to work with now a search company. We have a meeting with them on Monday, as a matter of fact. And in that meeting, we're going to lay down our vision to what we really like to see in this new superintendent.
It's a big. So what's our timeline, I guess? Because I don't even know what
the time. We're going to establish the timeline, but I suspect, and it's difficult sometimes to talk about something without going back to as 7 of us as a board right now and said that. But we're going to try to do that as soon as possible. So hopefully we'll have someone by early next year.
Good.
Because again, you want to bring this individual to Muscatine, get them some time to learn. Also, no matter who is that person, it's going to be a lot of learning about the community, about the school system, and so on. So we are talking about in the beginning of next year. I mean,
as
2020.
We sit here on the 11th of October, school board elections coming up November 5th. Soon. It's quite the process, right? It's a lot of work that's going into it. And again, I think for someone like yourself that has served 4 years and now is seeking that reelection speaks a lot. And one of the last questions I have, John, that I wrote down is, what do you want to achieve if you're fortunate enough to be reelected? Do you have things personally in mind? I mean, obviously being a part of the superintendent selection and hiring is a big deal. We've talked about that, but are there other things? I like the idea of trying to incorporate a 20 to 30 minute creative break in the day for our students. Anything else that the folks should know that are going to be heading to vote as far as where you're at and things you'd like to accomplish?
Yes, for sure. I want to work very hard with other board members to build what I will call a safe environment for our students. Our students and their parents deserve that from us. I want parents to feel very safe when they send their kids to any of our schools in Muscatine. And again, we are, I would say we are, relatively speaking, a safe community, but anything can happen anywhere, anytime. And I want to be proactive in helping creating that environment so that parents will be really safe or feel safe that their kids are in good hands too. This is a very important issue to me. We hear from time to time about bullying issues and so on. That's also a major issue for me, because I want every student to be him or herself in school and have the best opportunity to learn without being harassed or bullied or anything like that.
I'm with you. I'm pretty much like a zero tolerance type of person when it comes to bullying. I'll never forget, John, it was within the last 6 or 7 or 8 years. I still may have been in the Quad Cities, but I had a Facebook friend of mine that was a student at Muscatine High School sent me a message, and I guess they looked at me as a friend and a public person or whatever, and they just said, I'm being bullied and I don't know what to do. And it just stopped me in my tracks. I don't even know if my oldest son was born yet, but I just tried to give good advice, and I know that the school district, wants to really enforce that zero tolerance, because, it can happen, bullying can happen so quickly, whether it's at school or on social media. Students need to understand that it's not okay, and it's also, they need to understand that it's okay to speak up and be an advocate for yourself. Now, that being said, it's easier said than done. I understand that. But that's where the educators need to look for the signs. What a tough job being an educator in 2019. Whether you're in the elementary school, the high school level, or
even
at
the
college level, because you're tasked with, again, preparing these younger people for future success, but then you also have to pay attention to learn. So I imagine that also, because of what you do, continuous education for our teachers is probably important as well, right? So that they can know signs and identify when students may be being bullied or need help and they're not verbalizing it. Are there things that their body language could be telling them, right?
And that's excellent point again, Tony. I mean, I always say that investing in our students, schools, teachers, and the community is one of the best investments that any of us can make.
Absolutely.
And this is very important for us here in Muscatine. Yeah.
And I feel like we have a lot of dedicated, wonderful teachers across the board. I think about how fortunate we were personally, again, and I know I talk about myself, but I got skin in the game. I got kids in the school, right?
That's very important.
And we've had some
very
great
important
educators.
To be involved.
Well,
yes,
and that's where,
parents,
with someone like yourself, again, I want all these candidates to come on this show so people can know the stories. And there are so many, either current members seeking re-election or candidates that have children that have gone through the same schools. Yes. So, I mean, everybody has a lot of empathy and can understand what's going on. But yeah, my kids have been products of great educators, starting with Diane Calzaretta, right? I love Miss Diane, and
she's wonderful.
She is wonderful.
Teacher,
I think she's going to retire before my 1-year-old gets a chance to have her. I'm trying to have her hold out, but this might be her last year. And that's important as well, right? We've had a lot of teachers retire.
Yes.
And then it's important to, and again, this is where it can come full circle, John, because how many times have you seen kids that are products of the Muscatine Community School District that go off to get that education, and guess what? Now they're coming back to teach. Exactly. I love that. I'm all for that, right? Yeah. They have a shared experience with our students. They went to school so they can be looked at as someone that was a success, and now they're back in the classroom. And we have a lot of examples of that. Yes. Muscatine products that have gone through schooling and then are back.
And as a matter of fact, that's a good point, because even we have the same exact examples that I can talk about at MCC too, at the college. I mean, some of them were at some point in time were my students, and now they are my co-workers, my colleagues. Yeah, they're working with me.
And what's wild is John started when he was 15.
Exactly.
Now, we're not dating anybody here or anything like that. I appreciate what you've done. I love that as someone that my plan was to be a high school English teacher, so I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of family that are in education. It's always in the back of my mind, like, should I try to be an adjunct communications professor at MCC? I care about education. I know it's important. I know that there are employers in this town that it's one of the first things they ask. Where'd you go to school? What's your degree in?
Yes.
And if it's not, and that's not to say that a 2-year or 4-year education is for everyone. I also I understand that. I just want everybody to be set up for success. I want all of our students to graduate high school. I think that's super important.
That is very important.
And I think we're all, again, pushing to have our students be in a good place. November 5th is going to be here soon. I can't even imagine everything that you're involved with, and then putting together the re-election stuff and getting out there. But I appreciate your time for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you. And I would like to say also, and I see you from time to time, but sometimes we fail to say thank you for everything you do, Tony. I mean, we are lucky to have you in our community.
Well, we're lucky to have you.
Thank you.
This is going to turn into a thank you fest, but John's a good guy, and I appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much. And again, we're going to keep talking and having conversations with all the candidates that are running for school board, because it's important, right? This is important to me. Even if you're watching this, as an empty nester, your kids went through this school system, and we only want the best for them. All right, we're going to go, Chad, what do we got? Cart cam, aisle cam, perfect. All right, we're going to go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, and wow, that's a high perspective of the store right there. Look at that. Very good. Yeah. All right, in the produce department, that looks awesome. You're good to go. There's Kay doing some aisles online shopping right now, and I see Skylar back there. There's Skylar Delano, good guy. Funny story about Skylar. Met him and his dad years and years ago with some live broadcasts I did down the street at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. They had this little Toyland thing that would open up, and Skylar and his dad have a really awesome Hot Wheels collection. And I don't even know how young Skylar was then, but I know that I'm old now, and I work with Skylar, and he's just fantastic. All right, and there's some Angry Orchard, right? I don't know what that tree's looking at. Real shifty looking tree there. It's just kind of, look at that. You know what it's doing? That tree's watching Delmer. That's what's happening right there. That Angry Orchard hard cider is watching Delmer. What's he doing over there? I don't know. We never know what Delmer's up to. He's a real rascal. All right, Chris probably has the Toyota Muscatine cart cam. I want to see, and I know that the range, we can maybe run out of range. So, Chris, let's do this. Let's go to Chris. Let's see where he's at, and then I'm going to give Chris some instructions here. Today is National Sausage Pizza Day. So, Chris, here's what I'm thinking. Speaking of sausage pizza, there's Matt and Steve Graham hanging out, everybody. All right, Chris, let's try and go by Italian if we could. So straight down from where you're at, across the Market Grill Express counter, past the kitchen. How about Kim Beckman filling in for me to start the show? That was kind of cool. I thought I really did. I was going to have a seat right over here. I was going to, maybe enjoy a giant tenderloin for breakfast. Ooh, it's still warm. Oh, definitely taking a bite of that. I mean, nobody tell Matt Schweitzer that we've got a tenderloin here. I don't want him to come in and spoil the fun like he seems to do. This is Tony time. All right, so here goes Chris with that Toyota Muscatine car cam cruising past Italian. Chris, how about this? On the floor right there is a giant pizza. Now, it's not a real pizza, don't worry. It's a giant sticker, and I wonder if Chris could tilt the cart cam to show that giant decal. So it's early. You're watching this. It's 9:05 when we're doing this live, so not too many pizzas out right now, but that'll all change for the lunch hour and for dinner. So there you can see some daily Italian specials. Friday dollar slices all day, and it's National Sausage Pizza Day. You had me at hello. I love pizza. There's also a Tony Tone pizza. Shameless plug. Boy, that Tony, he's sure full of himself, huh? Got a pizza named after him. There's a water tower with his face on it. My kids were so happy, and then they were so mad. What? They're not going to put your face... I was like, it's a joke, guys. It's a joke. So there you go. Maybe some pizza ready to go. Yeah, some take and bake. Always a good option. You take it, see, and then you bake it. Listen, it's those pizzas are pretty foolproof. You put them in the oven. I always cook pizza at a higher temp because I'm impatient. 400 degrees, 450. That's probably way too hot, right? 450. I mean, I think they say that if you have like a self-cleaning oven, it cleans at like 500 degrees. I'm cooking pizzas that hot. Coming in hot pizza. Not a lot of patience in the house. You understand. I've got all these kids. They don't want to wait for pizza. They want the pizza now. How good was John DeBeat, right? Great guy. Man, listen, I have no bias. I just want people to vote on November 5th. And my goal, again, is to have all the school board candidates here. I think we have a lot of great people running for this school board. And yeah, they all care, that's what they have in common, right? You know, you can't vote for all of them, as much as I'd like to say that I could, but they all care and they all want the best for our students, and that means a lot as a parent of children in the school district. All right, I mentioned that it is National Sausage Pizza Day. It's also National Coming Out Day and World Obesity Day. Did they have to put World Obesity in the same day as National Sausage Pizza Day? I mean, that just feels, I feel personally attacked. I feel personally attacked that it's National Sausage Pizza Day and World Obesity Day. That's real disappointing. Maybe we could change that. Nice and warm in here today. You feel like they got the heat on? I don't even have to use my Hawkeye gloves. Shameless plug. If you find yourself needing, I could challenge someone to a duel with these. And then I would put this on, but I don't want to ruin my hair with hat hair. Nice Hawkeye hat if you're going tailgating. Let's just assume for the next X amount of home games, it's not going to be warm for the most part, so you can keep yourself warm, and even some warmers for your tootsies. Little toe warmers there. Just put it right on your foot. Oh, man, the bottom part of your foot's going to be cold, but the toes, you're going to be like, your toes are going to be burnt. They're going to be lit, as the kids say. So Kim Beckman told you at the start of the show, this right here, friends, is a good old hand-breaded. Look at the size of that. I feel like in the future, someone will find the episode of this show, and they might not have a context for what a hand-breaded tenderloin sandwich is. Now, and admittedly, until I moved to Iowa in 2002 to go to St. Ambrose, I wouldn't have understood what this is. I mean, they never fit in the bun. They're not supposed to. If you ever have a tenderloin that doesn't spill out, you know, this would be like, you know, if the tenderloin was, if it fits on the bun, don't trust it. You can't trust a tenderloin that fits on the bun. It needs to have the wings. Now, here's the thing, though, and this could be a real conversation. What do? Do you just go in and start to bite? Because I also know that there's people out there that are going to fork and knife it. So they make a cut there. I feel like this is like I'm a doctor. And you're going to make a bilateral incision on this part of the loin, and then you're going to have yourself a sandwich and a little appetizer. For my money, I'm just going in. I mean, but look at this. Where do you go? Where do you start? Because I love pickles. I can see a little pickle action, a little ketchup, a little mustard. I'm a barbecue fan too. But like, what do? You just go in on the side? That was a very aggressive bite. I apologize. Very aggressive. So good, though. So much tenderloin. I just want to get a bite with pickle. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Oh, stop yourself. These are $1.99 next Friday. Hold on. Little sip of the Zions. Don't want to talk with my mouth full. $1.99. These are fabulous. Every single one is hand-breaded. Did I say that already? Every one is breaded by hand. They're so popular, Steve's phone's ringing. People want them right now. One more week. Steve, you tell them. One more week and they're $1.99. Today, they're regular price. It's just great. It's a hand... I don't know what the breading is. It's like a... I don't even know if I can tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But every one of them is hand-breaded. That one day that we did this, I had to personally hand-bread like 500 of these bad boys. Right? So the pork comes from the meat department. They cut them, and then they bread them. $1.99 next Friday. Game over. Like, that's what you're doing for lunch and dinner next Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Dine in, carry out. The Muscatine mac and cheese, Kim Beckman mentioned. Again, I know it's not low carb. Listen, sometimes you just need mac and cheese. It's like a warm hug. Oh, mac and cheese. You're just carbs and more carbs. But you know what? You know what that's like? It's like putting on a nice glove. Oh, look at this. My hands were once cold. I'm not telling you need to hold mac and cheese, but that's what it feels like. It just feels like a warm, mac and cheese. It's comfort food. You understand why it's called comfort, right? Because it just makes you feel good. You know what has never made me just feel good? Kale. I've never just had kale and been like, oh, kale. Kale chips. Oh. And everything in moderation. $1.99 next Friday. So tempted to just take another bite, but we got to finish the show. Crumbs all over the place. Sweep them on the floor, because that's the kind of coworker I am. Let me just sweep them right off the table. I want to come back to the 48-hour sale because people love the fuel saver here at Hy-Vee. It's definitely something that there is no other. Let me just say this: there's no other grocery store in Muscatine that can save you money on gas, and we don't make you pay for your grocery cart either. So keep your quarters in your pocket, turn them into bananas, right? You don't have to put a quarter in a cart here, and your groceries are going to save you money at the gas pump. So come in and spend $50. And you'll get 25 cents on your fuel saver. Maybe you need to spend $100 or $150 or $200. You spend $200. That's $1 off per gallon. And then those deals are awesome. The donuts and the Hy-Vee Chinese, and I think it's, Buckley Farms chicken and 7-Up or Canada Dry sparkling water, whole boneless pork loin, Hy-Vee cottage cheese. I love Hy-Vee cottage cheese. Do you think that my neighbor, Jim Haskin, who runs the dairy, could just set me up? A couple things cottage cheese. Put it on the front porch, Jim. What do I got to do? I should just walk back to his department. It's not that far. But he's my neighbor, and he's got all that cottage cheese. That's an awesome price. 2 days on the fuel saver. Don't miss out. I told you how much I saved the other day, almost $17. That was awesome. And that's not even a lot by comparison with how many of y'all watching this can fill up your vehicle 20 gallons of gas for a penny. It's unbelievable. I'm super jealous. I don't like paying full price at the pump. I know I'm not alone. How about the Iowa Hawkeye game tomorrow? Are you going to Kinnick? Maybe. 25-cent draft beers if you don't. Right here in the Market Grill Express. My plan is to be here with my wife. And she doesn't know this, but whatever. So she'll either be with me or I'll be solo. Maybe I'll bring Chris as my date. We'll be here 25-cent drafts for at least the first quarter, first half. And because it's a later start, 6:30, right? That's late for me. I'm not going to bed at 7:30. I'm just saying. But for 25-cent draft, I could have a Cure for Pessimism IPA from Contrary that's on tap here in the Market Grill Express. For 25 cents, I don't even know what the normal price is. I think the normal price on that Cure for Pessimism draft is $6 or $7. Now, I ain't good at math, but 25 cents is unbelievable. That's the cheapest beer price in Muscatine at any bar. And then a $10 appetizer bar. All you care to eat appetizers. Nobody else has that either. It's fantastic. You just want a plate of meatballs or dip, or they had a thing of egg rolls. God bless America. What a great idea. You know what I want is a plate of egg rolls, Hy-Vee Chinese egg rolls, and a nice Cure for Pessimism IPA from Contrary. Their beer is so good. Mark Mitchell on the show next week, I think, Mark. Let's make it happen. You're making beer. He was a mailman. That's like the ultimate American dream, right? Mark was a mailman, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, turns out being a mailman in Iowa is tough, and I'm going to just open a brewery. I'm sure that there is more thought to the story than that, but that's pretty inspiring, right? And Contrary is a great story, and we're super happy to have him on tap here in the Market Grill Express. So that's awesome. Good for him. All right, so on the back page of the ad, we talked about the 48-hour sale, and then on the front side of the ad, we've got that hot deals, right? So some of those hot deals are still good to go. These prices in effect through next Tuesday. The Hy-Vee ad runs Wednesday to Tuesday, and you gotta love it, right? So good prices on grapes and avocados and Frito-Lays and soup and ground beef. Chris carrying a camera. I don't know if he's trying to get a super close-up of my gray hair. He's not. That's good. Hy-Vee bacon. Oh, my gosh. People love the bacon. Somebody tell my friend Jim Gaffigan, right? Jimmy G, baby. Somebody tell Jim Gaffigan that we've got bacon for that cheap. He would fly in from New York and make that happen for Jimmy G. That's an awesome price, and those hot deals are just going to continue. We've got that old-school Hy-Vee semi-truck out in the parking lot. And listen, this is super fun, right? So that is the backside of that truck, and you can see that it's definitely just a few years old. And then on the other side, when you cruise past on Highway 61, you'll be able to see these great deals that we're kind of locking in the price on and throwing away the key, if you'll allow it. So awesome opportunity to save on green grapes, red delicious apples, Hy-Vee potatoes, ground beef, Roma tomatoes, pork chops. You can also see the giant red, the down arrow, in the lot, ready to roll. Don't miss out on an opportunity to save. And there's the backside of that truck. That's pretty cool, right? It pays to shop at Hy-Vee. I mean, I don't know exactly how old that is, but it's got to be just a couple years old if I had to imagine. All right, Chad, I got to airdrop you a couple pictures. It's a friend of mine's birthday, and I'd be remiss if I didn't give him a shout-out. So those should be going, and I'll mention the shout-out in just a second. I do want to tell you that we've just got a lot going on here in the store. So let's do the birthday shout-out, and then we'll kind of get back to promoting a couple of things. Today is my friend Frank Fritz's birthday. Frank Fritz from American Pickers, celebrating today. Frankie has, I don't know how long I've known Frank, 10 years almost. That's Red Hot Brian Scott and Frank Fritz and myself. There's Frank right there. I got a funny story about Frank Fritz. We were hosting a New Year's Eve party in Davenport several years ago at the Clarion Hotel, and the party was sold out. There were probably 800 people there or something crazy like that. Frank Fritz shows up with his friends, a couple buddies, to try and get into our New Year's Eve party. And one of our coworkers didn't recognize him and was like, we're sold out. So we were in the hallway, and Frank walked past, and I was like, Frank? And he was like, hey, because we didn't really know him that well yet. And I was like, what's going on, man? And he said, well, I just was going to go to this New Year's Eve party, and they said it was sold out. And I was like, not for you. You could be my personal guest. What I love about that picture, my wife, Casey, myself, so that was at a diaper party. And by the way, if your wife or girlfriend is expecting, fellas, you got to have a diaper party. We didn't have to buy diapers for a year and a half. That's how many we got from our friends. That's at the Moline Vikings Club. And Frank's a good guy. This isn't me bragging. I'm not trying to name drop or whatever, but I've known Frank for a while. Happy birthday, buddy. And I owe you lunch, so come down. Come to Muscatine. We'll get you taken care of. All right, speaking of Muscatine, that Discover Muscatine in your mailbox this week, you probably saw it. You flip it over, the whole back page ad, talking about stuff going on here at the store. A lot of opportunities for you to save, and one of those deals is those stuffed pork chops in the meat department. Ooh-wee, did I just get a tear in my eye? Talking about stuffed pork chops, they're so good. Nobody's stopping grilling, right? Even though it's going to be a little cold this weekend, you're going to keep grilling. If you need stuffed pork chops, go back to the meat department. It would be just that way, outside of the Market Grill Express, where we used to do the show, right? And they'll get you taken care of. Those stuffed chops are awesome. There's one that's stuffed with bacon and cheddar, which is great. There's an original one. There's jalapeno, apple raisin. Ooh-wee. You're good. Don't worry, Chris. I got this ad memorized. October, also National Pork Month. So Pork Month is exciting. Iowa producing a lot of pork for the country, which is awesome. Are we the top pork producer? I think so. That's great. And outside, if you need a pumpkin and you want to save on that pumpkin, again, grown locally with Hoops Farms, save $1 on your pumpkin when you buy a pumpkin carving kit. So that pumpkin will go from $4.98 to $3.98. Chad, if we work our way down a little bit on that ad, some other great deals to mention. The caramel apples that are dipped fresh by the Salad Bar folks. Shout out to my friend Jennifer and Jace and Lynn and Colleen and everybody that works hard with the Salad Bar. If I forgot anybody, I apologize, of course. And just save the date for next Saturday. They're going to be dipping caramel apples live. We're live on location. We're dipping caramel apples. In the dairy department, Jim Haskin, my neighbor, has got Hy-Vee apple cider. Frozen, Dave Solomon. He's got Whitey's pumpkin ice cream. Kayleen at Wine and Spirit's going to get you taken care of if you love the Harvest pumpkin booze or apple pie. You can also see Delmer's brand new cranberry sage turkey breast. How about some Bakery Fresh pumpkin bars? Smoked ribs are great. 2 for $20. 2 full slabs of ribs for $20. Do the math on that. $10 each. 2 for $20. Love it. How about some soups? Those will warm you up. And pumpkin cheesecake. And then at the bottom of that, we're just talking about Iowa Hawkeye football. Breakfast for dinner, BOGO. And then save the date for Bosses Day on October 16th. That'll be here really soon. Just a couple of things rapid fire. Hy-Vee holiday catering. If you're looking to not have to do any cooking for the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up, we can take care of you. Kim Beckman, who started the show, would love nothing more than to handle your cooking. And like I said, I brought home, it was Christmas dinner that I brought home on Christmas Eve. It was awesome. All I had to do was take some tinfoil off, and there was they even sliced the turkey. It was just great. You order before November 1st, a little incentive for you on there. Definitely reach out to Kim. It's just great. The carnations, we're still doing that. Next Friday, we will be delivering what I hope is 1,000 carnations and some toys to the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital in Iowa City. I keep looking at this tenderloin, and it's making me a little tongue-tied. So we're going to try and deliver 1,000 carnations to the kids and the families in the hospital and some toys. You have an opportunity to donate money at the register, or you can go to Hy-Vee Floral and say, you know what, here's $10, turn that into 10 carnations, here's $100. Whatever you can do would help out. There's toys set up in the front of the store. There's a display right near the Market Grill Express. Purchase a toy, leave it in a bin. We'll deliver them next Friday just in time for homecoming. Look at that right there. Good-looking toys, good-looking carnations. Let's help out the Stead Family Children's Hospital. And last but not least, flu shot. Holy flu shots. The pharmacy has been busy. I got to be honest, and I know a lot of people. So yesterday I was in the pharmacy helping them hang some prescriptions. I'm certified, HIPAA trained. Just basically John Doe, put it in alphabetical order, hang it up. I saw a couple friends that were waiting to get their flu shot, and I said, are you ready? And they said, you're giving us the shot? And I said, oh yeah, with one eye open, which was a joke, okay? I can't give the shot. I would never do that. The pharmacists that went to school for a long time, Nicole and Sam, they'll get you taken care of. But I was having fun with some friends over there. I stand on one leg, I close one eye, and just aim and hope when you get that flu shot. It's not how that really works, but there's a lot of people that have been getting it. There has been confirmed cases of influenza in Muscatine County. It's not a scare tactic. It's the truth. You should get your flu shot. Things that will also keep you safe from the flu is tenderloins. I don't know if you know that or not. That was a really big bite. No, I apologize. We're never going to win an Emmy, guys. We're always going to lose to Paula Sands, aren't we? We're never going to get that Emmy. If you're hosting a show and you're not eating food that people bring you, you shouldn't have a show. I'm sorry. And I know Paula takes samples. I like Paula. I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm just saying, you can never trust somebody that's hosting a show. What are you going to expect me to not try this? I mean, every time I've had something, Matt Schweitzer shows up, the boss, and he takes the food. Somehow he's distracted. He's not here today. Bringing the heat. And these are $1.99 next Friday? You like the strategy that I'm taking? I'm just biting in the middle. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping to not choke. This whole chewing and talking thing is a lot harder than it looks. All right. I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks to John DeBeat. May I take a sip of this Zions? Hey, Zions people, where's the check, right? No calories, no sugar. I like it. Not a lot of caffeine. How much? 88 milligrams. So that's not a lot. It's good stuff. Thanks to John DeBeat, who is a professor at Muscatine Community College. He is a current Muscatine School Board member seeking re-election. Appreciate his time sharing his story and his thoughts. The goal is to have all the candidates on the show. Excuse me. Tenderloin's so good. What's happening is it's just the tenderloin is whispering, finish me. And I'm like, I will. Give me some time. Might be the best breakfast ever. These are $1.99 next Friday here at the store, so we're excited about that. Remember, if you're going to Iowa City, easy, right in the front of the store, near the CBI Superbank, you'll find hats and gloves and toe warmers and hand warmers. Maybe you got your long johns ready, Chad. Are we able to show the forecast for this weekend? It doesn't seem like it's going to be the best. A little overcast right now outside, cloud coverage. It's 9:26 in the morning. I don't want any more rain. I don't think we need it. The ground is super saturated. My sump pump has just been running, which is great. It's marvelous, but it's a little unnerving when it runs because you're like, what is that? Like, oh, it's a sump pump. Okay, that's good. The forecast just looks cold, right? Excuse me. How are we looking? Oh, my gosh, look at that. The low overnight is 34 degrees? For real? It's not cool at all. How about, can we get a daily cast maybe? Just to see what's coming. I don't know why I keep coughing. So Saturday's high is 57. All right, so the game starts at 6:30 tomorrow in Iowa City. It's going to be brisk, folks. Fall is here. Look at that. You've got a string of temps that don't even crack 60 until next Thursday and Friday. Next Friday's high 66. Oh, boy. What is going to happen? You know, I've heard that conflicting report. Farmer's Almanac, bad winter. I mean, what can be worse than 50 below zero? I mean, honestly, we got a ton of snow. I don't know what's worse than what we had, right? So I feel like we're tough. I got to stop talking because I'm going to keep coughing. Thanks for watching. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust. Thanks to Toyota Muscatine Team Staffing. Have a great weekend. We'll be back live on Monday at 8:30. We're out of here. I got to take a drink. Woo!
You're watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.